Hare Krishna, thanks again for coming for the fourth part of Narshimha Lila. Today we discuss the fourth chapter of seventh canto. So far we discussed about Hiranyakashipu, his austerities, and then like he was getting the benediction from the Lord Brahma. This one we discussed so far. Now we go to the fourth chapter. We can take the fourth chapter. Summary. That is obvious. Can show the only the sloka. Likewise, you have to adjust every time. Make it full. Yes. This chapter fully describes how Hiranyakashipu obtained power from Lord Brahma. This chapter fully describes how Hiranyakashipu obtained power from Lord Brahma and misused it by harassing all living entities within his universe. By severe austerities, Hiranyakashipu satisfied Lord Brahma and obtained the benedictions he desired. As after he received these benedictions, his body, which had been almost entirely consumed, was revived with full beauty and luster like gold. Nonetheless, he continued to be envious of Lord Vishnu, unable to forget Lord Vishnu's having killed his brother. Hiranyakashipu conquered everyone in the 10 directions and the 3 worlds, and brought all the living entities, both demigods and asuras, under his control, becoming the master of all places, including the residents of Indra, whom he had driven out. He began enjoying life in great luxury and thus became mad. All the demigods, Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, and Lord Shiva, came under his control and began serving him. But despite all his material power, he was dissatisfied because he was always proud of transgressing Vedic regulations. All the Brahmanas were dissatisfied with him and they cursed him with determination. Eventually, all the living entities within the universe, represented by demigods and sages, prayed to the Supreme Lord for relief from Hiranyakashipu's rule. Lord Vishnu informed demigods that they and other living entities would be saved from the fearful conditions created by Hiranyakashipu. Since Hiranyakashipu was the oppressor of the demigods, the followers of the Vedas aroused Brahmanas and religious saintly persons. And since he was envious of the Supreme Lord, he would naturally be killed very soon. Hiranyakashipu's last exploit would be to torment his own son Prahlad, who was a Mahabhagavata, an exalted Vaishnava. Then his life would end. And the demigods were thus reassured by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, everyone was satisfied, knowing that the miseries inflicted upon them by Hiranyakashipu would come to an end. Finally, Narada Muni describes the characteristics of Prahlad Maharaj, the son of Hiranyakashipu, and describes how his father envied his own qualified son. In this way, this chapter ends. Narada Muni continued. But Brahma was very much satisfied by Hiranyakashipu's austerities, which were difficult to perform. You shared the link in all groups. You started? Now, session started. Now we continue. Lord Brahma was very much satisfied by Hiranyakashipu's austerities which were difficult to perform. Therefore, when solicited for benedictions, he indeed granted them, although they were rarely to be achieved. Lord Brahma said, "O Hiranyakashipu, these benedictions for which you have asked are difficult to obtain for most men. Nonetheless, O son, I shall grant you them, although they are generally not available." Lord Brahma, who awards infallible benedictions, departed, being worshipped by the demons, Hiranyakashipu, and being praised by great sages and saintly persons. The demon Hiranyakashipu, having thus blessed by Lord Brahma and having acquired lustrous golden body, continued to remember the death of his brother and therefore be envious of Lord Vishnu. A demoniac person, in spite of acquiring all the opulences possible to obtain in this universe, continues to be envious of the Supreme Personality of God. So this is the important point mentioned here. So Vaishnavas are actually naturally called as Vaishnavana. Vaishnavas are normally called as Nirmatsarana. Matsara means envy. Matsara means envy. Nirmatsara means no envy. The devotee is one of the quality of devotee is that he doesn't envy anyone, because there is nothing to envy. The life of the devotees and karmis are totally different. As Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, the day for the materialistic person is night for a saintly person. A day for the saintly person is a night for the materialistic person. It means whatever we think most important, but materialistic people, they think it is least important. Whatever they think least important, and that we think is most important. Krishna consciousness is thought as actually, not so important activity for the materialistic people, because whole day they are fully busy in making money. So you can see that you can go to Canto 2, chapter 1, verse number 3. 2 and 3. Yeah. The lifetime of the previous householder is past. At night, they either in sleeping or in sex indulgence, and in the daytime, either in making money or maintaining family members. This is the instruction of Sukadeva Goswami. Nidraya vede latam vivayena samavayaha diva chartariya rajan kutumba baranena. So this is the consciousness of the conditioned soul. Whereas the devotees are different. One sloka before you can see that explains about the devotees. Again, this was about materialistic people. Those persons who are materially engrossed, being blind to the knowledge of ultimate truth, have many subject matter for hearing in human society. What is the slogan? Sanskrit? Srotravyadi Rajendra Nirnam Santi Sahasraha Apashyatam Atmatattvam Graneshu Grahamenya. So there are so many things to know. They want to know what is height of Everest. They want to know what is there in the moon. They want to know what is there in the Saturn. They want to know is there any more Earth like this. They want to know whether we can make life more easier. There are so many things. So many things for them to know, but they don't want to know about Krishna. But as far as devotees are concerned, you want to know only about Krishna. You don't want to hear something which is not related to Krishna. And how do you choose whether something to be done or not to be done? If Krishna is pleased, that we should do. If Krishna is not pleased, we should ignore it. That is what? That is Satyadas Anadari, 1866 Bhagavad Gita purport is there. what is that? Anasha for 1866 forward. What is that? First I have that. Anukulena Sankalpa. Anukulena Sankalpa. Pratikula Savarjanam. Rakshiti Vishwasho. Gopratri Varanamdata. Atmanikshema Katmanye. Sadhida Sarma. So, what is 6 functions of surrender? The first thing is Anukulena Sankalpa. Sankalpa means accept. You accept only things. According to devotional process, one should simply accept such religious principle that will lead ultimately to devotional service of the Lord. Anukulena Sankalpa. Whatever task that helps you to go back to Godhead, Sankalpa. Accept it. Pratikulasya Varjanam. One may perform a particular occupational duty according to his position in social order, but if by executing his duty one does not come to the point of Krishna consciousness, all his activities are in vain. Anything that does not lead to perfection stage of Krishna consciousness should be avoided, should be given up. One should be confident that in all circumstances Krishna will protect you from all difficulties. That is the next thing. Okay, but we are not going to that. Rakshiti Vishwasa. Krishna will always protect. The faith will be there. No, go on like that. But you choose a task. You choose a task simply by one question. It is Anukula or Pratikula. Anukula Sankalpa. Pratikula Varjanam. That is a principle of devotional service. But the karma is also one Anukula Sankalpa, Pratikula Varjanam. But that Anukula is for the sense gratification. They are also Anukula Sankalpa, Pratikula Varjanam. And they think that Krishna consciousness should be given up because Krishna consciousness is a hindrance for making money. Making money is learned to be the most important aspect of, like Gandhi people. And this thing is explained by Prahlad Maharaj also later on in the same canto, 7.6.10. You can go to 7.6.10. 7.6.10, Prahlad Maharaj explains. Read the transmission.
Money is so dear that one conceives of money as being sweeter than honey. Therefore,
conditions. No, it's not. But whereas conditions shows, sometimes we get anger, sometimes we get this and that. So that is why Hiranyakashipu's eyes of always copper, because he always fear and anxiety. He always want to maintain his position. Whereas Krishna has nothing to maintain. You don't need to maintain his position. His position is actually permanent. Nobody can conquer Krishna's position. That is why Krishna is always cool. I have no enemy. Ajatashatru. Ajatashatru. Ajatashatru means what? What is Ajatashatru? Jata Shatru. He has no enemy. There is no enemy. Nobody is Krishna's enemy. Enemy means someone should be equal. No? Enemy should be your equal level. No? You don't have enemy someone who is lower than you, right? O Maharaj Vishra, descendant of Pandu, by dint of his personal power, Hiranyakashipu, being situated on the throne of King Indra, controlled the inhabitants of all other planets. The two Gandharvas, Viswavasu, Tumburu, I myself, and Vidyadharas, Apsaras, sages, all offered prayers to him again and again just to fulfill. See, this is a very interesting point. I myself, who are glorifying? Perfect. Go to the purpose. The Apsaras sometimes become so powerful that they can engage even Narada Muni and similar devotees in their service. This does not mean that Narada was subordinate to Hiranyakashipu. Sometimes, however, it so happens in the material world that great personalities, even great devotees, can also be controlled by the stars. That we saw yesterday, right? Remember? Yesterday we saw that 7, 2, 7, 1, 7, 1, 7, 1, 7, 1. The time factor, remember? It's 7. Remember that verse explains about that how the time factor we discussing, right? Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Yeah. Yeah. 718. 718. Jayakale tu sattvasya devarashin rajaso suran tamaso yaksha rashamsi tat kalan guno vaje. When the quality of goodness is prominent, the sages and demigods flourish with the help of okay. When the quality of goodness is prominent, the sages and demigods flourish with the help of that quality, with which they are infused and surcharged by the Supreme Lord. Similarly, when the mode of passion is prominent, the demons flourish, and Rajas and Rakshasas flourish. The Supreme Person, the Lord, is present in everyone's heart, fostering the reaction of Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. That is why when a king like Hiranyakashipu rules, naturally people of Yakshas and Rakshasas, people like Yaksha and Rakshasa, that is people like demonic people, they flourish. The devotees cannot flourish. That is why it is required sometimes, they have to support and glorify people like Hiranyakashipu. 7:4:15. Being worshipped, sacrifice is offered with great gifts by those who strictly follow the principle of Varna and Ashrama. Hiranyakashipu, instead of offering shares of oblations to demigod, accepted them himself. As if in fear of Hiranyakashipu, the planet Earth, which consists of 7 islands, delivered food grains without being covered. Thus, it resembles cows, like the Surabhi or the spiritual goer, or the Kamaduga of the heaven. The earth yielded sufficient food grains. The cows supplied abundant milk, and outer space was beautifully decorated with powerful phenomena. By the flowing of their waves, various oceans of rivers, along with their tributaries, the rivers, which are combined with their wives, supplied various kinds of germs and jewels for the Hiranyakashipu to use. These oceans were the oceans of salt water, sugarcane juice, wine, clarified butter, milk, yogurt, and sweet water. So, when the sinful activities increases in society, normally what happens is that, the nature stop supplying things, because when the demigods are not offered the share, they are not happy, and that's what happens is that they start supplying people. But here they are still supplying. Why they are still supplying? In the fear of Hiranyakashipu. The fear of Hiranyakashipu they are supplying. It means, as Hiranyakashipu said, he is trying to reverse the result of pious and sinful activities. So, even though there are a lot of sinful activities going on, he is demanding the society, He is managing the society out of fear to supply everything. The valleys between the mountains became fields of pleasure for Hiranyakashipu, by whose influence all the trees and plants produce fruits and flowers profusely in all seasons. The qualities of pouring water, drying and burning, which are all the qualities of the departmental heads of the universe, namely Indra, Vayu, and Agni, are all directed by Hiranyakashipu alone without assistance of the demigods. In spite of achieving power to control all in all directions, in spite of enjoying all type of clear sense gratification as much as possible, Hiranyakashipu was dissatisfied. Because instead of controlling his senses, he remained their servant. That is the point. So even though actually you get possession of everything in the world, but still, if you cannot control your senses, and you remain as his servant. Do not speak, nobody is speaking. What speaking there? Not speaking, no. Why speak? What speaking before speak? Hiranyakashipu thus passed a very long time being very much proud of his opulence and transgressing the laws and regulations mentioned in the authoritative Shastras. He was therefore subjected to a curse by poor Kumaras who were great Brahmanas. Everyone, including the rulers of various planets, was extremely distressed because of the severe punishments inflicted upon them by Hiranyakashipu. Fearful and disturbed, unable to find any other shelter, they at last surrendered to the Supreme Personality of God. Let us offer our respect, obeisance, and to that direction where Supreme Personality of God is situated. And those purified souls in the grounds of life, the great saintly person, who and from which having gone they never return. Without sleep, fully controlling their mind and living on only greed, the predominating deities of the various planets began worshipping Rishikesha with this meditation. Then there appeared before them a transcendental sound vibration emanating from a personality not visible in material eyes. The voice was as grave as the sound of the cloud, and it was very encouraging, driving away all fear. The voice of the Lord vibrated as follows: O list of learned persons, do not fear. I will all good fortune to you. Become my devotees by hearing and chanting about me and offering me prayers. For these are certainly made to award meditations to all living. I know all about the activities of Hiranyakashipu and surely stop them very soon. Please wait patiently until the time. Let us go to the Bhagavad. Sometimes people are very much eager to see God, and considering the word Pratyashanam, seeing me, which is mentioned in these words. One should note that Bhagavad Gita, Lord says, Bhaktyama Abhijanati 55. In other words, the ability to understand the Supreme Personality of God or to see Him or talk with Him depends on one's advancement devotional service, which is called Bhakti. In Bhakti, there are 9 different activities: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Swaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmakirtanam. Because all these devotional activities are absolute, there is no fundamental difference between worshipping the deity in the temple, seeing Him, chanting His glories. Indeed, all of these are ways of seeing Him. For everything, that devotional service is a means of direct contact with the Lord. When voice appeared in the presence of all devotees. And also, a person vibrating the sound was seen to them. They are meeting or seeing the Lord because they are offering prayers and because the vibration of the Lord was present. Contrary to the laws of material world, there is no difference between seeing the Lord, offering prayers, hearing the cancelled vibration. Your devotee is therefore or fully satisfied by glorifying the Lord. Such glorification is called Kirtana. Performing Kirtana and hearing vibration of the sound Hare Krishna is actually seeing the Supreme Personality of God directly. One must realize in this position, and then one will be able to understand the absolute nature of God. So this is important because normally we think that we should see the Lord or we should see the spiritual master. So the word direct is mentioned in the Bhagavad. Direct. So direct does not mean that only seeing. Direct also means hearing. Direct also means glorifying. So when the Prabhupada spiritual master, we should not think that no, he is not. He is not direct means he should go to physical. No, there is no physical. Hearing Krishna, hearing Prabhupada, and hearing his lectures and seeing his video are not different. Are not different from directly seeing. In fact, that is much more higher than this Bapu Seva. Bapu Seva is actually dangerous because Bapu Seva there is familiarity. Mata Seva there is no familiarity. It is more Seva. So this is very another proof that like rhythmic system of initiation is modified. When one is envious of living gods who represent the Supreme Personality and Godhead of Vedas, which give all knowledge of the cows, Brahmanas, Vaishnavas, and religious principles, and ultimately me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he and his civilization will be vanquished without any delay. See, when someone is becoming envious of the devotees, everything will be finished. Everything is finished. Simply by becoming envious of the devotees. The Hiranyakashipu teaches the great devotee Prahlad, his own son, who is peaceful and sober and who has no enemy. I shall kill Hiranyakashipu immediately, despite the benedictions of Brahma. The great sage Narada Muni continued, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Master of everyone, thus reassure all the demigods living in the heavenly planets. They offered their respectful obeisances unto him, and they were confident that the demon Hiranyakashipu was now practically dead. That is the thing that one should have with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the Guru. Dakshineni Parabhakti Yatadevik Tathagu. So you should have faith in the words of the Guru and Krishna. Hiranyakashipu had four wonderful, well-qualified sons, of whom the one named Prahlad was the best. Indeed, Prahlad was a reservoir of all transcendental qualities because he was unalloyed devotee of the personality of God. Nishyasya Bhakti Bhagavati Akinchana Sarve Gunaistartha Samasudesura. A one who has unflinching devotion and faith in Krishna, all the good qualities of Krishna and the demigods are consistently manifest. Bhagavatam 5:18. Prahlad Maharaj is praised herein for having all good qualities because of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, a pure devotee who has no motives has all good qualities, material and spiritual. If one is spiritually advanced, being a staunch, liberal devotee of the Lord, all good qualities are manifest in his body. On the other hand, Haravu, directed nor indirectly interested in the fruitive activities described in the Vedas. Indeed, he considered everything material to be useless, and therefore he was completely devoid of material desires. He always controlled his senses and lifespan, and being of steady intelligence and determination, he subdued all lusty desires. Okay, Prahlad Maharaj's good qualities are still qualified by learned saints and Vaishnavas. As all good qualities are always found within the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they also exist forever in his devotee Prahlad Maharaj. That's why they say that we should not try to research on the source of the river and the devotee. We should not try to understand, what is this, parampara, who is his father, who is his grandfather, what is his caste, what is his religion. We should not think like that. Even if he appear in a demonic family, devotee is always devotee. It's something different. In any assembly, there were discourses about saints and devotees, O King Yudhishthira, even the enemies of the demon, namely demigods, what to speak of you, would cite Prahlad Maharaj as an example of a great devotee. See, this is the another quality. Even enemies are glorifying Prahlad Maharaj. Even the enemies of demons, namely demigods, what to speak of you, who cite Prahlad Maharaj as an example of great devotee. Who could list the innumerable transcendental qualities of Prahlad Maharaj? Their unflinching faith in Vasudeva, Lord Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, and unalloyed devotion to him. His attachment to Lord Krishna was natural because of his previous devotional service. Although his good qualities cannot be enumerated, they prove that he was a great soul Mahatma. So we can see purport 719. Pukunam Janmanam Mante, Jnanavanam Mahaprabhati, Vasudeva Sarvamini, Sab Mahatma Sudarlabha. So the devotee is called as Mahatma, is a great soul, because after many births, he has come to the understanding of Krishna is Supreme Person. From the very beginning of his childhood, Prahlad Maharaj was uninterested in childish playthings. Indeed, he gave them up altogether and remained silent and dull, being fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Since his mind was always affected by Krishna consciousness, he could not understand how the world goes on, being fully absorbed in the activities of self-life. So this is the one thing, because children normally like to play. They like to play, but here, Prahlad Maharaj, he is always alert. As we discussed in the morning, Krishna consciousness is all about so being it's full of cognizance. It's full of actually awakened status. So he knows his position, just like even like Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj, when in next life he become a deer, he was not he was not mixing with other deers. He went to the ashrama of who is the Rishi? I forgot the Rishi's name. He went to the ashrama of the Rishi, and then he was associated with the devotees, even as a deer. And next life he became Jadabharat. Even after becoming Jadabharat also, he was fully focused. He was fully focused about his position. That is a devotional service. He is always, alert about his position. Prahlad Maharaj was always absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna, thus being always embraced by the Lord. He did not know how his bodily necessities such as sitting, walking, eating, lying down, drinking and talking were being automatically performed. A small child, while being cared for by his mother, does not know how the needs of the body for eating, sleeping, lying down, passing water, and evacuating were being fulfilled. He is simply satisfied to be on the lap of his mother. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj was exactly like a small child being cared for by Govinda. The necessary activities of his body were performed without his knowledge. As a father and mother cared for his child, Govinda cared for Prahlad Maharaj, who remained always absorbed in the thought of Govinda. This is Krishna consciousness. Prahlad Maharaj is a vivid example of perfection in Krishna consciousness. Because of advancement in Krishna consciousness, he sometimes cried, sometimes laughed, sometimes expressed jubilation, and sometimes sang loudly. Sometimes, upon seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Prahlad Maharaj would loudly call in full answer. He sometimes lost his shyness in jubilation and began dancing in ecstasy. And sometimes, being fully absorbed in thought, he felt oneness and imitated the pastimes of the Lord. What's going on? Sometimes, feeling the touch of Lord's lotus hands, he became spiritually jubilant and remained silent. His hair standing on end and tears gliding down from his half-closed eyes because of his love for the Lord. When a devotee feels separation from the Lord, he becomes eager to see where the Lord is. And sometimes, when he feels pangs of separation, tears flow incessantly from his half-closed eyes, as stated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Shikshashtaka, Yugaitam Vishena Chakshusha Prabhaishtam. The word Chakshusha Prabhaishtam referred to tears falling incessantly from the devotee's eyes. These symptoms, which appear in pure devotional ecstasy, were visible in the body of Prahlad Maharaj. So this is one thing. That even though there are so many kind of devotional service, the devotional service, the separation is the problem. Vipralamba Bhava. Because in separation you can really understand, appreciate the value of the other person. Because Prahlad Maharaj is missing Krishna, and then like all these symptoms are visible. Because of his association with perfect, unalloyed devotees who had nothing to do with anything material, Prahlad Maharaj constantly engaged in the service of Lord's lotus feet. By seeing his bodily features, when he was in perfect ecstasy, persons very poor in spiritual understanding became purified. In other words, Prahlad Maharaj bestowed upon them transcendental bliss. So that is the famous sloka Sundar Gopal Prabhu always quotes, by seeing, by touching, the verse is there now. By seeing and touching a devotee, one gets purified. Prabhu quote this verse. What about, simply by seeing, one gets purified, devotee. So, even unqualified people, simply by seeing a pure devotee, they get purified. My dear King Yudhishthira, the demon Hiranyakashipu tormented this exalted, fortunate devotee, although Prahlad was his own son. When a demon like Hiranyakashipu, despite his elevated position due to severe austerities, begins to tease a devotee, he begins falling down. And the results of his austerities dwindle. One who oppresses a pure devotee loses all the result of his austerities, penances, and pious activities. Since Hiranyakashipu was now inclined to chastise his most exalted devotee son, Prahlad Maharaj, his opulences began dwindling. Maharaj Yudhishthira said, O best of saints, among the demigods, O best of the spiritual leaders, how did Hiranyakashipu give so much trouble to Prahlad Maharaj, the pure and exalted saint? Although Prahlad was his own son, I wish to know about this subject from him. A father and mother are always affectionate to the children. When the children are disobedient, the parents chastise them. Not due to enmity, but only for the child's instruction and welfare. How did Hiranyakashipu, the father of Prahlad Maharaj, chastise such a noble son? This is what I am eager to know. Maharaj Yudhishthira further inquired, how was it possible for a father to be violent toward the exalted son who was obedient, well-behaved, respectful to the father? O Brahmana, O Master, I have never heard such a contradiction as an affectionate father punishing his noble son with the intention of killing him. Kindly dissipate our doubts in this regard. In the history of human society, an affectionate father is rarely found to chastise a noble and devoted son. Therefore, Maharaj Yudhishthira wanted Narada to dissipate his doubt. That's the end of Bhaktivedanta purport of 7th canto, 4th chapter of the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam entitled Hiranyakashipu terrorizes the universe. Any comments, any doubts? No doubt, you can stop here. Tomorrow morning we will discuss about the next chapter, fifth chapter of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. We'll discuss more about that. Okay, so thank you very much for everyone who has come today. Narshimha Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Lord Prabhu. Any questions?